Ian Lavery, who is the chairman of Labour Party, is here. We will have a few words and then we might come back and when other MPs are here and they are going to come out of the chamber and come here. But I thought to, first of all, can I say that here is a Sri Lankan community, here is a Iraqi community, here is a Baloch, here is Ethiopian community. So this is the real third world solidarity. We have Americans, we have got Germans, we have got from Sindh friends. So this is a very small Kashmiris as well, Shahida Jarrah and Siddiqui Sahaba. So I think invited few friends. We could have done it in a much bigger room, but I thought if I do in a bigger room, their own constituency will feel shy because they did it in a bigger room. There were much more people there and there were many other MPs. But I'm very thankful to all MPs who have come. Mohammad Yasin was here, Andy Slaughter was here, and then we will have few more. But I thought Ian is going to see somebody even more important, possibly very soon a future Prime Minister. So I thought to grab him and say a few words. Not possibly, but I think definitely. It is only a question when. But we are not here to promote any political party because there are people from all political parties in Third World Solidarity. I'm very thankful to you all coming here. And I think Third World Solidarity, as I said, is a organization which works for peace, justice, tolerance, and democracy in the world. Is there anybody who differ with this? You survive. So thank you. Thank you for coming. I think, as I said, we are saying thank you to basically our former chairman of APPG, Third World Solidarity, and I'm going to introduce to the new chairman who will join us later on, but she is at the moment involved in a CLG meeting which is discussing Grenfell Tower. Who will forget the Grenfell Tower, which is the biggest disaster in the Western world? And I think we sympathize with the people. We have just remembered the 71 people who died, and we are also looking after or trying to look after the people who survived last week in St. Paul Cathedral. I think we know that today world has become even more cruel and dangerous than it was 32 years ago when Third World Solidarity started. I think we have to work harder, and that's why I'm getting younger and younger. Dave Anderson has accepted to become involved in Third World Solidarity and many other causes in future as well. He has already joined miners, Friends of Miners in Durham, which he was himself as a miner. Then he has also joined another group which is called Veterans Group Charity, and he will be part of Third World Solidarity. And next year we will be celebrating or inviting him to chair, and he has accepted it, Third World Solidarity annual dinner, which will be third week of June, and we are hoping and working on somebody to come there, very important person to speak about peace, justice, tolerance in the world, which in the last few weeks have become even more dangerous. If you look at Rohingya, if you look at Palestine, if you look at other issues, not to go far away, these are the issues which are very important for everybody who is sitting here and around here. So can I first of all ask you to give a big clap and welcome and say thank you to Dave Anderson. Because when Dave Anderson became the chairman of all-party parliamentary group on Third World Solidarity, Wajid Shamsul Hasan Sahab, aap kahan hain? In the middle of my speech, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. He's disappeared, so I'm going to switch off. And everybody else, if you are not on a very important call, switch off. Or put your voices low. So Third World Solidarity, when we established, as I said, 32 years ago, but in Parliament we came about 11 years ago in 2005-06. And since then we have held hundreds of meetings on human rights issues from Ethiopia to Cuba, We invited trade unionists from all over the world. We invited the people who believe in the principle which Third World Solidarity stands for. And I'm pretty sure the future government will be working more closely with Third World Solidarity. And present government, many people are working with us. There are MPs, lords, parliamentarians who work here. I didn't mention a Sri Lankan colleague is here who is chairman of Sri Lankan Association. So can I invite Lavery, the chairman of Labour Party, and a farmer miner as well, if I'm not wrong, or representing a minor constituency, to say a few words in honor of Dave Anderson. Ian Lavery.
Thanks very much for that, Mustaq. I've switched my phone off just in case anybody knows. It is really unusual that a gathering like this, the speaker actually answers the phone. Never mind, I'm putting mine on there. Thanks very much for the kind invite. Dave Anderson will be a huge loss. He is a huge loss to Parliament. He's a huge loss to the constituency in which he represents. It is a huge loss to organisations which he proudly represented as being an MP, but isn't it fantastic that Dave is agreeing to carry on, and it's Dave's nature to carry on assisting and helping people in the likes of the Third World Solidarity Campaign. Because as Mustaq's just said, we live in very, very strange times. In fact, we live in very, very hostile, difficult times. Things are changing across the world, and we need to be very much aware of it. But we need to get a grip on what's happening with working people. Because Third World Solidarity was mentioned, the different countries which are represented here. You know, a working class person outside this window is the same as a working class person in Iraq. It's the same as a working class person in Pakistan. It's the same as a working class person in India. We're all, and I'm proud to be of that ilk. I'm a working class man. I used to work underground in a coal mine. And I'm now in Parliament, which shows people can achieve. But the reality is, we've got to be doing things with regards to the likes of this organisation. We've got to be doing things that will be helping others. That's the aim of the Third World Solidarity and other charities which Dave has been a representative of. And I'm pleased to be here because Dave's a big comrade of mine, a great colleague, great friend, has been for many years. Fellow miners during the miners' strike of 1984-85. You can tell by my looks I'm a lot younger than Dave, by the way. Got to say that. We weren't in the same class at school, in case anybody does say that. So I just want to say that I think you're doing a fantastic job. We've got real difficulties, global difficulties. And I've got to say this, and perhaps I might receive some criticism. I'm not too concerned about that, but we are seeing globally huge threats from the election of Donald Trump in America. Now, no, it's a democratic process, and I know that he was voted in by the majority of the people, well, not necessarily the majority of the people, but he was voted in under the system used in America. But I just get the feeling that Mr. Trump's looking for a war of sorts somewhere. I think he's looking to undermine ordinary, hard-working people across the globe. It frightens me. It really does frighten me. It is great to see countries come together, representatives of different countries come together, having a common goal, having a common objective, and that's not themselves, but to look after others. We quite simply stand for simple things in the labour and trade union movement. We stand for looking after people. We stand for decent wages, terms and conditions. We stand for the eradication of poverty. We stand for decent housing. We stand for a decent NHS free at the point of use. And we stand for a decent education system for ourselves, for our children and our children's children. They're just the basic things that we should all aspire to. It shouldn't be a pipe dream, this. It shouldn't be a pipe dream at all. These should be basic human rights. But people involved in organisations such as this one understand that for too long now, these are becoming pipe dreams of ordinary people. So we've got a huge challenge ahead, and I'm up for that challenge. Dave's up for the challenge. We're stacked, and everybody here is up for these huge challenges. I'm sure we'll not get them sorted in as short as period as what we would want to, but we've got to be there. We've got to be challenging. We've got to be ready. We've got to be promoting the cause, and we've got to be looking after those people in society who are a lot worse off than we are. So with that, thank you very much, Dave. All the very best, comrade.
Thank you very much, Jim. Could you give it? Thank you. Can I invite who became the chairman of APPG on 3rd month solidarity after Dave, Steve Hepburn, to say a few words. It is just a goodbye to Dave and Nelson, and that's what we are speaking about. Steve Hepburn.
Thanks very much, Tamkin. Thanks for all you do for the organisation and enlightening us and allowing us to enlighten Parliament on the good deeds and the excellent campaign that you run. I'm just basically along here with yourselves to thank David for starting this campaign off all these years ago with Mushtaq, and making sure and watching it roll and develop over the years to get to where it is now in Parliament, where it's an established organisation, it's an established cause, and it's there to stay. And we will ensure that we'll take up the cudgel from David and make sure that we'll keep the campaign going in the future and keep the message going in Parliament. And with Mushtaq's help, I'm sure we'll be able to do that. So thanks, David, for all you've done, getting this organisation kicked off, and I'm sure you will be keeping in touch with her in the future. And like I've always done, I'll always be on the phone to ask your advice on these issues. And thanks very much, and thank you all for coming along and making this such a special occasion. Thank you.
Can I ask, obviously we have many colleagues who have joined us, and Emma and her husband, Simon, is it right?
Yeah.
Look, I remember. So my memory is not as good, but can I ask Dave to just say a few words before we start again, our mingling and networking. Dave Anderson, as I said, has become a very close friend. We are going to miss him in this building, but we are not going to miss him because I will be going to Blaydon and his area quite often on many occasions. So can I request Dave Anderson to say a few words?
Thank you, Mushtaq. I won't answer the phone either. I come from the background, the same as I in Lavery, of the mining industry. And the miners have always had a very, very strong history of solidarity, national solidarity. One of the most prized possessions of the Durham miners is a letter from Joseph Stalin in 1941 that's in the Miners' Hall in Durham, thanking the Miners' Union who raised money from ordinary men and women to send 2 Spitfires to fight against the fascists in 1941. Now, 2 Spitfires alone must have cost in 1941, but for men and women who didn't earn very much, it was a huge signal of their intent and their belief that working people are the same the world over. Come forward 30 years, and in 1987, there was a huge explosion in a coal mine in South Africa, in a place called Kinross. 187 people were killed. And the Miners' Union wanted to do a memorial service. And the apartheid government refused to allow them to do that service. So my union smuggled the leader of the union out of South Africa into this country, and we had a huge memorial service in Sheffield Cathedral. And coming out of Sheffield Cathedral, South African police tried to lock the man up. Fortunately, it didn't happen. We got him back to the country. And potentially that man may well be the next president of the South African Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa. But whether he is or not, the very fact that ordinary men and women from thousands of miles apart saw the reason to stand up for people who were being persecuted. So when I came into this place, I did have a history and a culture of international solidarity. And when I was approached by Mushtaq, comrade Martin Salter, who was the MP for Reading this year, would you meet Mushtaq and talk about setting up an all-party group in here? I didn't know Mushtaq from Adam, but we met, and instantly we had the link that we were both friends of the great Tony Benn, and from there we set this group up, and out round this meeting today, and it's exactly what we've done for the last 11 years. People from all around the world, you know, I didn't have a clue I was going to meet people who were going to be talking about an adult autistic choir. What a fantastic thing. Now hopefully we can work together to try and get some momentum built around that, where there's people who might want to bring them into Parliament or potentially get involved with the governance of the place or whatever. But also I look around and see people who are involved in, you know, the Iraqi situation, which I was proud to chair a group and working with the Iraqis, particularly in Kurdistan. But also I went to Baghdad in 2008, met the Prime Minister, and we had discussions about how we can play our small part to try and bring that country back into the position it should be in the world. But the biggest, probably the saddest debates we ever had there was the Kashmiri situation. Because the truth is we haven't moved hardly at all. But it didn't stop us carrying on having a debate. And that's the thing about solidarity. There's no end to solidarity. Because you have to stand together no matter what, and you have to stand together and work together and not have any means of saying, well, we won't work with you, we don't like you, we don't like your country. Ian made the point about the President of America. I would probably share those views. It wouldn't stop me working with Americans to try and find a way forward, including our comrades come from the embassy today and people like that, because beneath it all, we all are the same people. If we forget that, that's only to our detriment. This is one of the hardest things for me in terms of leaving this place. It's giving up on this, you know, to the extent we were doing it. Work I was doing in Northern Ireland and other things, but you know, time comes for everybody to move on, and ultimately, I chose it was a time for me to slow down a little bit and change gear. But it won't stop me supporting wherever I can the move for international solidarity and what it means. And I'll always support and thank Mushtaq for the great work and great friendship he's brought to me, and I wish you all the best, not just for Christmas, but for the new year and going forward. Thanks very much.
One protocol mistake was that I answered the phone. Second protocol mistake is when you invite somebody after even chief guest has spoken. But I cannot miss Lord Sheikh, who is a part of Third World Solidarity, and Lord Sheikh was the first Muslim Lord in House of Lords from Communist Party, and he has done a lot of work with Third World Solidarity, especially Central Asian states and many part of other Third World countries. Liz, can I ask you to come here, and she will be our future chairwoman of APPG on Third World Solidarity. Here is the new museum. So can I ask, and you can see in this building, you have to break the protocol. And after Lord Sheikh, Liz Twist will also speak. She is the new MP for Blaydon and a successor of David Anderson. But before I invite Lord Sheikh to say a few words, can I say that David Anderson, take our best wishes for you and Eva as well, because Eva has become so close friend that I have stayed many times at their home with my family, and it has become virtually, Blaydon has become my third house, because first was London, second is Reading, and third is Blaydon now. So I will continue with that. But can I invite Lord Sheikh to say a few words about David Anderson and APPG on Third World Solidarity?
Because I'm in between meetings, I didn't expect it to be asked to speak. But one thing you learn in British politics is have the ability to speak at the drop of a hat. I think you're required to do that. I've known Mushtaq for many years. I had blonde hair. Look at me now. I think he had more hair now. Look at him now. But one thing I noticed about Mushtaq is he's a very dedicated person. Last time I met you was outside Grenfell Tower when we had this tragedy there. And he was there because I went there to see what's happening. And I think undoubtedly we need to do things. I've traveled 3/4 of the world. I've been to a lot of hotspots. I've just come back from Central Asia. I'm going off to India in about 2 weeks' time to speak at a conference. And there are a lot of things we need to do. I think one thing I do notice is that Britain is being held in great regard. It really is. Undoubtedly, we are being looked at as being fair, and that is, I think, we need to do. We all need to carry on doing what we do with regard to international development. We spend 0.7% of our GDP on international development. We are unique in that sense. And when I go abroad, I notice that things need to be done. People criticize us here that we should not be spending that magnitude of money, but we need to do that. We need to help people, but we need not only to give handouts, but it's important that we train people, that we get them involved in doing work. And I have my own charity, and this is what I concentrate on. And I think we need to continue doing things, and sometimes we do face obstacles. There's no doubt about it. Life isn't very easy, but I think we must carry on doing what we should do. I have disagreed with Mushtaq, and I said, don't call it third world solidarity. And I've said that publicly. I don't think the word third world doesn't have the right connotation. These countries which were third, look at India, for example. Look at it now. Look at it when it was 20 years ago. So it's got to be perhaps developing countries. Undoubtedly, now we are going to have the Cllr meeting very shortly, and I think we need to build. In fact, today you'll see I'm wearing a badge here. I'm addressing Malaysians today. This was given to me by the Malaysian Prime Minister. Just you're wondering what this #1 badge is, given to me by Malaysian Prime Minister, because that's what he wants to promote, one Malaysia. So I wish you well. I wish you. I don't think I've not been to Blaydon. All I hear is Blaydon races. Do they still have Blaydon races?
Plenty of it.
So undoubtedly, so I wish you well, sir. And indeed, on my side, Mushtaq, if I can help you, I'll be very happy to. Obviously, I lead a busy life, but I'll be very happy to give you as much help as I can. And so I wish you well, undoubtedly, indeed, and of course, it's all a good team spirit, I'm sure, Mushtaq. And you will be very good team. He's a good man, good team.
Oh, yes.
When he got his CV, I wrote to him actually, never had to reply from you, Mushtaq.
Have a seat, Lord Sheikh. I'm requesting the parliamentarian to stay here for 5 minutes, because we have to have an inaugural meeting when, the parliamentarians know that they have to be here for 5 more minutes, and then we will. Can I say 2 things? Number one, 32 years ago, when we established Third World Solidarity, it was a very sexy name. It is no more, and we have a history. Come up with a better name, and Lord Sheikh, I will change it now. But I can't see any better name which has that sort of history, so I'm going to continue with Third World Solidarity until we get a better name or a better slogan which can match it. But I'm in your hands. Can I now invite Liz Twist, who is very involved. Actually, she's coming from an inquiry of Select Committee on Grenfell Tower. So obviously it was mentioned by Lavery, and it is mentioned by everybody. I live about 20 yards from Grenfell Tower, and I was there at 1 o'clock when this fire started. And I was there next day and every day. And we do every 14th of every month a silent march. You are most welcome to join us next month in January on 14th, which is monthly anniversary of Grenfell Tower. Can I invite Liz Twist, who is going to take over from Stephen Hepburn now as a chairwoman of APPG on Third World Solidarity. Liz Twist. 1 second, your attention, please. 1 second, another attention. Sorry. Our co-chairman, Huma, Barrister Huma Price. Our co-chairman from Conservative Party, from MP for West Yorkshire,
Thurston North, which is North Yorkshire.
North Yorkshire, Kevin Hollinrake, who has kindly booked this room for us. Obviously, he's late, and he was also in the same meeting where Liz was on Greenfield Tower, and he was one of those from Conservative Party who came first week on Channel 4 and met my daughter, and then came and visited my house. We have become close friend, and then it is now Kevin and Nikki, who is also a family member. So can I invite Kevin to say a few words about Kevin? Sorry to drag you back, but this is the House of Parliament.
I wasn't expecting that, but as you all know, Mujtaq is so persuasive. So, but yes, we met tragically at the scene of Grenfell, and coincidentally, Liz and I have just been on a select committee just now looking at the outcomes in terms of the building regulations around how we can make sure a terrible tragedy like that will never happen again. So, but yes, persuaded by Mujtaq to be involved in your wonderful group, and I hope the meeting today has gone well. It's been my pleasure to host you, and I'm very keen to do whatever I can to improve relations and to make sure we spread the message far and wide that we're all got the same objectives in mind, and from a Conservative perspective or from Labour, we all want the same things. So I'm very keen to help you make sure we get there, and my door's always open for Mujtaq. But I'm sure you're on to... But anyway, thank you very much, Mujtaq.
Thank you. For you.
So Mujtaq, thank you for all of your efforts. And really, I'd like to go on to say thank you as well to Dave. Dave has been a stalwart of this APPG over many years. I know because I used to work for him as well. So I know he has.
She got all the work.
So I know it's been really important to him. It's really important, I think, for us to keep that link and to keep working together with all of you and with Mujtaq and other colleagues to move forward in the committee. But I want to say today, thank you very much for all of your work, because it's been, real dedication, real hard work, and I know he's thrown himself into this work. So it's right that we're here today saying thank you to Dave for the work that he's done, and I hope you'll join me in. It sounds to me as if I've been thrown my first challenge in terms of a name for the APPG. So perhaps that's something we can look at in the future. And Mujtaq has said, well, I'm willing to do it if you can find a better name. So I think that's set a few hairs running that we need to think about, Mujtaq. But the really important thing is the work that the APPG does and making sure that that carries on and we all work together for the common good. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mujtaq. Thank you very much, Dave, and I hope you enjoyed this event today. And I know I'll see you plenty of times in the future. But it's great for you to be here again today.
Thank you very much, everybody. And I know Emma is somewhere.
She's out to interviews, but she's coming back.
Oh, okay. When she comes back, we have already these, so we will have our inaugural, but you can carry on drinking. And once again, it is great to have a friend like Dave Anderson, and now friends like Liz, Lord Sheikh, and Steve have been working for the battle causes, Ian Lavery, Andy Slaughter, and Emma Lewell Buck, who is here. And I know that there will be a private bill which Liz does support very much, and we hope that everybody from all sides will help on housing on 19th of January by one of my closest friends, Karen Buck, as well. So good luck, and thank you very much, everybody, for coming up. You can leave, but we will.
North Yorkshire. Well, I'd like to be here long. The way that's like committee and our program is making a statement
Thank you very much.
Well done. APPG के चेयरमैन है, उनको कहने के लिए चूँकि वो लास्ट टाइम इलेक्शन में स्टैंड नहीं किया था, वेलकम करने के लिए न्यू चेयर है, जिन्होंने उनको सक्सीड किया है। आज हम यहाँ पे जमा हुए, रिसेप्शन है, चूँकि ट्राइबल सोलिडारिटी, पीस, जस्टिस, टॉलरेंस एंड डेमोक्रेसी के लिए दुनिया में काम कर रही है। यहाँ पे MPs फ्रॉम लेबर, कंजर्वेटिव और अदर पीपल फ्रॉम इराक, लबनान, इथियोपिया जमा हुए हैं और आज ये उनका रिसेप्शन है।